Hi rock stars, this is Miss Rogers here, and today I'm going to introduce to you Linus the Minus. Linus is a minus sign that we use to subtract. He likes to come out and do his job when he hears a few key words like difference, take away, fewer, left, subtract, and minus. People use different strategies to subtract. They might use their fingers, and they might use a 10 frame. But today, I am going to teach you how to use a, drum roll please, a number line. Keep watching while we solve subtraction problems using a number line, and I will even show you how to make a reusable number line at the end of the video. The standard is OA6. I can subtract within 20 using a number line. Let's begin. Elliott had 17 toy trains. He gave 3 of the trains to his brother. How many toy trains does Elliott have left? So the first step that I need to do is identify the question. And the question is, how many toy trains does Elliott have left? Now I need to determine how I can solve the problem. Well, I see the word left, and left is a clue word that lets me know that I'm probably going to subtract. Now, let me think about the problem. It says that he started with 17 trains and he gave 3 of the trains to his brother. So if he gave 3 trains away, he's taking those away. So take away is another keyword that lets me know that I need to subtract. So yes, I am definitely subtracting. But what am I subtracting? Well, I see that he started with 17 toy trains, so I'll circle 17. And I see that he gave 3 of the trains to his brother, so I will circle 3. Now it's time to make my equation. When I'm setting up a subtraction equation, I want to start with that larger number. So I know that he started with 17, so I will write 17. And then since I am subtracting, I need to use the minus sign. The minus sign is the sign that we use when we're subtracting. And I know that he gave 3 of the trains to his brother, so I am subtracting 3. So I have 17 minus 3, and now I can just write my equal sign, and I will have a blank for my answer. The answer to a subtraction equation is called the difference, so I'm searching for the difference. Now it's time to use our strategy of using a number line. Now, when I'm looking at a subtraction equation and I want to use a number line, I need to start on the number line with that first number. So I am going to start with 17 and I want to put a box around it so I can remember that that is the number that I start with. Now, it's very important for you to know that when using a number line, when you are adding, you are going to hop forward. But when you are subtracting, you need to remember to hop backwards. So since we are subtracting, we will hop backwards. But now, how many hops should we make? Well, if I look at my equation, I know I started at 17 and I'm hopping backwards 3 times. So I'm going to start here at 17 and I need to hop back 3 times. Whatever number I land on will be my answer or the difference. So watch as I hop back 3 times. 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops. I have landed on 14. But every good mathematician knows that we need to attend to precision, so we need to double check our work. So now I'm going to go back underneath each hop and count the amount of hops that I made just to make sure. So I hop 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. And I definitely landed on 14. So the difference of 17 and 3 is 14. So Elliott had 14 trains left. So remember, we are still subtracting within 20 using a number line. Simone had 20 Skittles in a bag. She dropped 8 on the floor and had to throw them away. How many Skittles does Simone have left? So remember, first we need to identify the question. And the question is, how many Skittles did Simone have left? Now I need to determine what I need to do in order to solve that equation, or solve that problem, I should say. Well, I see the word left, and I remember that left usually gives us a clue that we're going to subtract. And it also says that she dropped 8 on the floor and had to throw them away. If she's throwing something away, they're being taken away from her. So that's another clue that I'm going to subtract. But what numbers am I subtracting? Oh yeah, I see 20 because she started with 20 and then she dropped 8. Now, when I'm making my subtraction equation, which number should I write first? That's right, 20. So I will start off with 20. And I remember us saying that we are subtracting. But what's the sign that we use to subtract again? That's right, a minus sign. And I know that I am subtracting 8 because 8 of those Skittles she had to throw away. So now I'm going to write my equal sign. And then I have my line right here. So I know that I can write the difference on the line. Now, remember, we're ready to use our number line, but what number do I start off on the number line? If you said 20, then you're correct. So I'm going to put a box around 20. Now I see that I am subtracting. Should I hop forward or should I hop backwards? That's right, I need to hop backwards. But how many times should I hop backwards? That's right, 8 times. So what I want you to do is as I'm hopping backwards, I want your finger to follow my hops. Let's begin. 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops, 4 hops, 5 hops, 6 hops, 7 hops, 8 hops. Wow, that was a lot of hops. I just want to double check to make sure that we made the correct amount of hops. So let's go underneath each hop and we're going to count to make sure that we made 8 hops. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yes, I still landed on the number 12. So 20 minus 8 is 12. So Simone had 12 Skittles left. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and take out a number line. I want you to solve this problem. Jayce had 15 beyblades. He lost 8 of the beyblades. How many beyblades does Jayce have left? Go ahead and begin. Okay, so what you should have done is you should have noticed that the question is, how many Beyblades does Jayce have left? And we know that since we see the word left, that is giving us a clue that we're going to subtract. And also it says that he lost 8 of the Beyblades. So that's another clue that if he's losing something, he probably had to subtract that. So if we're starting our equation, we need to identify the numbers that we're going to use. Well, he started with 15 Beyblades and he lost 8. So we're going to create our equation. You should have started with the larger number, which was 15. And then you know that since we're subtracting, we're going to use a minus sign and we're subtracting 8. So your equation should have looked like this. Now, when you use your number line, you should have started on 15. And then you remember that since we're subtracting, you were going to hop back 8 times. So you should have started on 15 and hop back 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops, 4 hops, 5 hops, 6 hops, 7 hops, 8 hops. And since you're an awesome mathematician, I know that you double checked your work. And one way you could have done it was written your hops underneath each hop. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you would have noticed that you landed on the number 7. So we know that 7 is the difference of 15 and 8, which means that Jayce had 7 Beyblades left. Awesome job, rock stars. So remember, from now on, when you are working on a subtraction problem, you can always use your strategy of using a number line. So now it's time to make a number line. So the first step in making a number line is that you need to actually draw a line. So as you can see, I used a sheet of paper, but you can use anything with a straight edge. And then as you can see, I was making my slashes and numbering them. I wanted to pay careful attention to make sure that I was able to count all the way to 20, and then also that they were evenly spaced, because that's very important. And as you can see, I thought that my pen ran out, but that's okay. So one way that you can make your number line reusable is by putting it in a sheet protector. And if you have a dry erase marker, you can solve your equation. And then after you solve your equation, you can get a tissue and then you can erase it, or an old sock actually. And then you can start over and over again and you have a reusable number line. But if you don't have a sheet protector, another strategy that you can use is you can place your finger on the first number and then go ahead and count your hops. But if you use this strategy, remember that you always need to double check, maybe even triple check your work.